Welcome to the Business English Podcast, where we help non-native English-speaking professionals master the language of business. I'm your host, Rob, and today we're diving into a crucial topic: how to professionally say, "We have a problem." Have you ever been in a meeting and felt unsure about how to bring up an issue without causing alarm? Or perhaps you've struggled to find the right words to maintain professionalism when discussing setbacks. Well, you're not alone, and today's episode is here to help. We'll be exploring 12 powerful phrases that will help you address problems in a variety of professional scenarios. From meetings and office discussions to high-profile presentations and networking events. But that's not all. We'll also discuss the principles and techniques behind using these phrases effectively and wrap up with some key tips to ensure you always come across as calm, composed, and solution-oriented. Why is it so important to choose our words carefully when discussing problems? How can the right phrase not only convey the issue, but also demonstrate your professionalism and leadership skills? By the end of this episode, you'll have the answers to these questions and the confidence to tackle any problem with the right words. So, whether you're dealing with a minor hiccup or a major obstacle, stay tuned. This episode is packed with practical tips and expressions that will elevate your business communication skills to the next level. So let's get started. Ladies and gentlemen, welcome to the Business English Podcast, helping professionals communicate more effectively, more confidently, and with impact. With your host, Rob. From Energetic English, let's get down to business. Okay, now we're going to dive into the first section of today's episode, the principles and techniques behind professionally addressing problems at work. Why is it so crucial to choose our words carefully when discussing problems? Imagine you're in a high-stakes meeting with executives or perhaps delivering a critical project update to your team. The way you present an issue can either inspire confidence or cause unnecessary panic. So how do we ensure we stay on the right side of that line? Well, first up, stay calm and composed. It might sound simple, but keeping your cool is essential. When you speak calmly, you convey control and confidence, even if the situation is challenging. People are more likely to trust and follow someone who appears steady and unflustered. Next, be specific but concise. When presenting a problem, clarity is key. Provide just enough detail to explain the issue without overwhelming the audience. Think of it like this. You're a pilot informing passengers about a bit of turbulence. You wouldn't give them the technical details of air pressure changes. You'd keep it straightforward and reassuring. Up next, offer solutions. This is a game changer. When you present a problem, always aim to follow it up with potential solutions or next steps. This not only shows you're proactive, but also helps shift the focus from the problem itself to the action plan. It's the difference between saying, "We're stuck," and "We've hit a snag, but here's how we can move forward." Lastly, maintain professionalism. Use polite and formal language to show your respect and foster a collaborative atmosphere. Even if the problem is significant, the way you phrase it can set a constructive tone for the discussion. But how do these principles play out in real scenarios? How can you stay calm, be concise, offer solutions, and remain professional all at once? Well, that's what we'll explore in the next section with 12 key phrases that will help you handle any problem like a pro. Stick around because up next I'll share those powerful phrases, explain their uses, and give you contextual examples to make them easy to apply in your daily work life. Trust me, you won't want to miss it. So now it's time to dive into the heart of today's episode. 12 powerful phrases to professionally address problems at work. I'll introduce each phrase, give you a moment to repeat it, and then provide a scenario where it would be perfect to use. Let's get started. 1. We have a hiccup. Repeat after me. We have a hiccup. Perfect for minor issues. Imagine you're in a meeting discussing a project timeline. We have a hiccup with the project timeline, but it's manageable and we're working on it. 2. We've hit a snag. Repeat after me. We've hit a snag. Use this for small, unexpected problems. For instance, we've hit a snag with the software update and it may delay the rollout by a day. Number 3. There's a bump in the road. Repeat after me. There's a bump in the road. Ideal for non-critical setbacks. Picture this. In a marketing review, you could say, there's a bump in the road with our campaign due to some unforeseen market changes. Number 4. We're facing a challenge. Repeat after me. We're facing a challenge. This could be used to highlight more significant issues. For example, you might say, we're facing a challenge with the budget allocation for the new project. 5. We encountered an issue. Repeat after me. We encountered an issue. Now this one is nice and straightforward and can be used for any problem. For example, we encountered an issue with the supplier delivery schedule. 6. There's a complication. Repeat after me. There's a complication. Great for complex problems. In a merger meeting, you could say, there's a complication with the merger process that we need to address immediately. 7. We've run into an obstacle. Repeat after me. We've run into an obstacle. This describes something that is hindering progress of any sort. Consider this. We've run into an obstacle with the regulatory compliance requirements. 8. There's a glitch. Repeat after me. There's a glitch. Commonly used for technical issues. You might report, there's a glitch in the system that's affecting user logins. 9. We're dealing with a setback. Repeat after me. We're dealing with a setback. Useful for delays in general. In a construction meeting, you could say, we're dealing with a setback in the timeline due to weather conditions. 10. An issue has come up. Repeat after me. An issue has come up. This is a great versatile phrase that can be used generally in any situation. In a client review, you might say, an issue has come up with the contract terms that we need to review. 11. We're experiencing a problem. Repeat after me. We're experiencing a problem. Direct and clear. For example, we're experiencing a problem with the new software integration. 12. There's a situation that needs attention. Repeat after me. There's a situation that needs attention. This is polite and formal. In a project update, you could say, there's a situation that needs our attention regarding the project scope. By using these phrases, you can address problems in a way that maintains professionalism and composure. But how do you ensure these phrases make a lasting impact? That's what we'll cover in the final section. Stick around for some key tips on mastering professional communication in any scenario. So now that we've covered those professional phrases to address problems professionally, it's time for some final tips to ensure you master this crucial aspect of business communication. First and foremost, always remain solution-oriented. When you present a problem, follow it up with potential solutions or next steps. This not only demonstrates your proactive approach, but also helps keep the conversation constructive. Instead of just pointing out an issue, you're also guiding your team towards a resolution. For example, you might say, we've hit a snag with the software update and it may delay the rollout by a day. However, we can expedite testing to make up for the lost time. Next up is use positive language. Even when discussing problems, framing your words positively can make a significant difference. It helps maintain morale and shows that you're focused on moving forward. Instead of saying, this complication is a major setback, you could say, this complication presents a challenge we can overcome with some adjustments. Practice active listening. one of our favorite pieces of advice on the podcast, and it is, of course, active listening. When you discuss problems, be sure to listen carefully to responses and feedback. This not only shows respect, but also helps you gather valuable insights that might lead to quicker resolutions. When someone suggests a solution, acknowledge it. That's a great point. Let's explore that option further. Maintain professionalism. Even when the pressure is on, using polite and formal language fosters respect and cooperation among your colleagues. Remember, your tone sets the stage for the entire conversation. For instance, instead of saying, "We have a big problem," you could say, "We're experiencing a problem that requires our immediate attention." By combining these tips with the phrases we discussed earlier, you'll be well equipped to handle any professional situation with confidence and poise. But remember, mastering these skills takes practice. So the next time you're faced with a problem at work, try using one of these phrases and see how it transforms the conversation. Thank you for tuning in to this episode of the Business English Podcast. I hope you found these tips and phrases useful for your professional toolkit. Remember, the way you communicate problems can significantly impact your interactions at work. Stay calm, be concise, and always offer solutions. Before we wrap up, here's a quick recap of what we've covered today. We discussed the importance of maintaining professionalism, staying calm and composed, being specific but concise, and always focusing on solutions. Then we dove into 12 powerful phrases to help you address problems in various professional scenarios. And finally, we wrapped up with key tips to ensure your communication remains effective and professional. If you found this episode helpful, make sure to subscribe to the Business English Podcast so you never miss an episode. And don't forget to share it with colleagues who might benefit from these tips as well. Until then, keep practicing, stay professional, and of course, keep it strictly business.
You have been listening to the Business English Podcast. Remember to subscribe, leave a review, and we'll see you next time.